Today's video is sponsored by SeatGeek. Live events are back, and with promo code BOARDFILM, you can save $20 off tickets with SeatGeek. SeatGeek is a super simple ticketing app that makes buying tickets a breeze. We're all sports lovers here, and SeatGeek has tickets for everything from football, basketball, boxing, you name it. SeatGeek wants to make sure you're getting the best. So look for the green dots. Green means good deal, red means bad deal. Again, use code BOARDFILM to save $20 off tickets at SeatGeek. That's $20 off your first purchase with promo code BOARDFILM. Click the link in the description to download the app.
17-yard line, trailing 27-23.
Tom Brady, the GOAT.
Brady's in the gun, folding to his left. He's got the who man on the right wing with Dobson to the right.
Building! Unicorns! Show ponies! Where's the beef? Boy, when you thought we'd seen it all, when it's total despair, this situation after situation he's been through, my God!
Like his airness, Michael Jordan, or the greatest, Muhammad Ali.
And the greatest.
Tom Brady is an American icon. His legacy is built atop the ashes of would-be dynasties and rivals.
You're a legend, man. Congrats, man.
A tale as old as time. An underdog overcomes the odds, marries the most successful supermodel of all time, reigns atop his sport for 22 years, and cements himself as the greatest of all time. Raised in San Mateo, California.
First year at Sarah, he had never played organized football, and he was on an 0-8 team that did not win a game and did not score a touchdown, and he was the backup quarterback. As a sophomore, the quarterback that had played as a freshman decided not to play football anymore, so he got the job by default.
The Padres are marching right back down the field. Brady right-footed, complete to Kirby at the 23. Brady looking over the defense, 6'4".
Brady was a two-sport athlete. He was drafted by the Expos in the '95 draft to play catcher. Brady chose football at Michigan, where he'd sit behind Drew Henson.
And then Drew Henson. And at the time, sir, I'm sure I don't have to, refresh your memory. If people were betting on who the NFL star was going to be, it was Drew Henson.
Because in college what happened was the head coach that recruited me, he ended up getting fired before I even got to the school. So I committed in the spring, but by the time I got there in the fall, they had fired him. When you're not their guy, it's just, there's a different dynamic.
Henson was considered the best high school quarterback to ever come out of Michigan. There was just one problem. Brady was way better than him.
Tom Brady, very, very tough quarterback. Brady now with first down.
Brady frequently came into the game to try and save the day after Henson face-planted.
People are like, oh, Drew Henson's going to be the top pick in the NFL draft. Tom Brady's a great college quarterback, but we have to play Drew Henson.
The perseverance thing is so awesome because you have to split your time with this Drew Henson guy. Drew Henson was the big star.
Wilson has a complete to Shea. Shea's inside the 10 to the 5 to the 3-yard line.
So my feeling was, if I'm going to be the best, I've got to beat out the best. And if the best competition's at Michigan, then I've got to beat those guys out if I'm if I'm going to play.
Touchdown, Michigan.
Tommy was a clear cut. He was the captain of that team. He was the leader of the team, and he was the best quarterback in that team.
Folks, this is the ball game here. 4th down and 3. Michigan doesn't get it, it's over. First down, Michigan.
It was hurtful at the time, but it just seemed like everyone was 1,000% Drew Henson's the next big thing.
Walker's inside the 15 to the 10-yard line. First down, Wolverines. Needing a score badly. Shea inside the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Michigan.
After winning the starting job, he led Michigan to the Orange Bowl to take on perennial superpower Alabama.
Should you cap this off with a win over Alabama, would this be a nearly perfect collegiate career?
Well, you know, it'd be pretty darn close. I mean, there's not much more I could have asked for.
These two teams met the toughest schedules in all of college football in the BCS computer rankings. Alabama had the toughest schedule of all. Michigan was number 2. And there's Brady making his final appearance in the maize and blue of Michigan. Now he's going deep to Terrell. Touchdown. There you go.
Greatest quarterback ever is Mr. Brady. Period.
Obviously so is Michigan. 2 clubs here. One looking for its 11th win, one looking for its 10th. And here's Sean Alexander. Busting it into the secondary. He might take it. Alexander is gone. Touchdown, Alabama. Oh boy, now we got something working here. They haven't done a good job on 3rd down tonight. Brady pump fakes, steps up, steps down.
So anytime we're down in a game, I think, man, if we come back to win this game, we're the hero.
Straight ahead he goes. Freddie Millens cuts outside. He's got great speed.
2 separate times, Michigan trailed by 14.
Alabama touchdown.
2 separate times, Brady willed his team back.
Michigan now trailing by 2 touchdowns.
When the moment was at its most dire and the pressure was at its greatest, so was Brady.
Play action, Brady. Look out.
Under fire, under pressure.
He got away from one, got away from another. He goes that way, and he's got Terrell in the open field. David Terrell inside the 20. Michigan touchdown. Boy, that was a nifty bit of footwork by Tom Brady, who didn't go down.
It was both the biggest game of Brady's college career and the best game of his college career.
Brady to throw. Down the middle he goes to his fullback, Shea, and he's got a first down at the 40-yard line.
A trait he'd become legend for.
2nd down and 8. Brady fires. Terrell's got another one. Down to the 20. Tom Brady in his final appearance, the Michigan quarterback. There's what he's done so far tonight. Made a move at the 15, the 10. He's in again. Touchdown, Michigan. We thought maybe Michigan had put itself in a hole too deep to climb out of. It's 28-28. Overtime at the 66th FedEx Orange Bowl. It's Michigan on offense first at the 25-yard line. Brady, nice play fake. Fires across the middle. His tight end's got it. Sean Thompson, touchdown. Just like that, Michigan wins in overtime. And a career high for Tom Brady in both yardage and now touchdown. His 4th touchdown pass of the night.
Sending the Wolverines home with a 35-34 win, stamping Brady as one of the most decorated quarterbacks in U of M history.
Tom Brady showed poise. He showed the heart of a bird. He showed the heart of a leader, the heart of a lion. And he came on here, stuck it in.
This is the draft report on you. Basically, Tom Brady, poor build, skinny, lacks great physical stature and strength, and gets knocked down easily.
In 32 years of doing this, we talked about 576 quarterbacks. He was number 576.
That kind of gets me fired up because I'm thinking, what the hell do these people know? That sounds like Joe Montana right there.
Brady fell in the draft, all the way to pick 199 in the 6th round.
Tom Brady goes to the New England Patriots.
The Patriots had recently signed their Pro Bowl QB to the league's first $100 million contract.
A lot of people don't believe in you. It's obvious by, 6 other quarterbacks taken and 198 other picks. And I always felt, once I get my shot, I'm going to be ready. I'm going to really take advantage of that.
But you just signed the $100 million contract. The last thing you're thinking is this 6th-round pick out of Michigan is going to take your job.
No, that was last thing on my mind.
Talk to me about your favorites. Because just talk about love under, okay?
I like sticks.
Patriots have the ball for the first time. Drew Bledsoe, now in his 9th year, just 500 yards away from joining that 30,000-yard club out of Washington State.
He was right in my hip pocket all the time trying to learn. So I figured he'd be like a 10, 11-year backup. That's kind of what I figured he would.
Zeroes in on Bledsoe. They've not sacked Bledsoe today, and that's quite in contrast.
The chances of Brady seeing the field appeared unlikely.
Bledsoe gonna run it. Needs 10 yards. Does he hit? Oh my!
I hate to put a time on it right now. I don't think there's any chance he would play this week and probably not the following week.
Bledsoe's injuries will thrust second-year backup Tom Brady into the starting role for this Sunday's matchup.
I've always told myself, if you ever get this opportunity, because you never know how many you're going to get. And when you do get your opportunity, you better be ready to take advantage, especially how competitive this league is and how good every team you play is.
When did you know that he was something a little bit different?
Well, Tom was special his rookie year. Even though he didn't play, his leadership with the other rookies in the class, we had a big rookie class. Tom took them every day after practice and would run them up and down the field on their offensive plays, and was clearly a leader on the field, and then had a very good training camp in 2001.
At this point, the team was 5-13 under Bill Belichick. Many suspected the coach would be fired at the end of the year, including himself. Here's what Bill said to the Jets head coach before the game where Bledsoe was injured. "We're horrible. We f***ing suck. And I'm not gonna make it through the year. He'll f***ing fire me before the year is over."
As Bledsoe had just gotten so hurt, and who's this 199th overall selected kid who had a cup of coffee? How's this kid going to turn around? By the way, an 0-1 start that was about to come 0-2. I'm told everybody in New England said our best quarterback's trotting on the field because we saw what he was doing in practice and we saw how special he might be, and the rest of the team knew it.
Major storyline here today, Tom Brady, the development, just his 3rd NFL start. And for the injured Drew Bledsoe, who is still at least a week away from light workouts.
In his 3rd start against the Chargers, the Patriots were 1-3, their season hanging by a thread.
Chargers showing blitz.
Troy Brown joining us. You've been in that huddle so many times with Tom Brady. Obviously, in big moments, in clutch situations, he's at his best. Was he like that when he took over as the starter?
Yeah, he was that way when he came through the door.
All of a sudden, your offense reappears down by 10.
Trailing by 10, Tom Brady had 8.5 minutes to salvage the season.
In the pocket, Brady.
In a blink, the lead was down to 7.
Plays it, 23-yard attempt. And Vinatieri splits the uprights. This is a 7-point game.
Like Michael Jordan, Brady walked into the league with ice water in his veins.
I always assumed they would say, what was it like to cover Michael Jordan? And I think we have now arrived at a place where that question is going to change. I think the question is going to be, what was it like to watch Tom Brady?
Brady steps up. Brady looks. Complete. Inside, David Patton trying to take it. It's 40 seconds to go here in the 4th from Foxborough. Smith in the backfield with Edwards.
No fear. Only self-belief.
Touchdown!
showed poise throughout the drive there.
The touchdown forced overtime.
300 yards on the day, but I think the key thing there, you see, no interceptions. He hasn't thrown any interceptions since filling in for Drew Bledsoe. Very young quarterback, really keeping his poise and his wits about him.
Tough as nails, Brady absorbed the hit and moved the team into field goal range.
Rush coming. He gets rid of it. Kevin Fett down the sideline. Oh, what a big play for this Patriots offense.
Each week, his understanding of the NFL game grew. Immediately, his teammates were behind him.
You can't say enough about him. I mean, the guy's unbelievable in the huddle. I mean, you have to experience it to know how it is. I mean, never was down. No matter what the situation was in the game, he was always fired up. He was always believing that we were going to win the game.
Before long, he was the biggest story in football.
New England is trying to build on their overtime win last week against San Diego. It's all hypothetical right now, but I'll just ask your opinion. If they keep winning, Tom Brady is in there as the QB. You've got a Pro Bowler in Drew Bledsoe who just assumed he'll have his job ready for him. If you're the coach of this team, what's your thought process?
I think the way Tom Brady is playing right now, you have to, I think, continue to allow him to lead the football team. He's playing so well at such a high level, and you know what? He has the same strength and same strong arm that Drew Bledsoe has, but he's a bit more mobile than what we've seen from Drew Bledsoe.
And I have a really strong internal motivation to say, if you bet on me, I'm going to give you everything I have. I'll give you my head. I'll give you my heart. I'll give you my body. I'll give you everything.
Streaks in. 91-yard touchdown.
Belichick saw in you, right, Tom? Because Belichick was saying, hey, I got a kid here who works his ass off.
Has Tom Brady underthrown any of the streaky wide receivers on this football team? He said it's impossible. You just saw the power and strength of the arm for Tom Brady. Excellent throw, well-timed as well.
So he looked at you as a guy who was completely committed, and I think that turned him on.
Loss of 3 for Smith, 2nd and goal from the 6.
He saw football very much the same way that I saw it, and all the coaches, that I work with on a daily basis, they want the same thing.
Over the middle, touchdown! Leaping grab by David Patton.
Because we saw the process of winning very much the same way, which I think that culture for winning in that system, which was why I was a great fit for that system.
Tom Brady wins again, and the New England Patriots sweep the Colts here at the 2001
You were in New England when Brady, for his first OTA.
Sure.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, I think the weird thing with Brady is he's always had leadership. Like, he always, you hear the people, hey, bet on yourself. Tom Brady always believed in himself.
As Tom Brady, in his second year for Michigan, 6th-round draft choice, 2000 draft comes out.
There was something about him as far as his work ethic. He shut his mouth and came to work.
Brady very confident, comes in with a quarterback rating of almost 93.
He told me personally, we all went out to a big dinner, and he said, look, I'm not giving this job back. He told that to me. I kind of trying to take him up under the wing a little bit, being a Michigan guy, but he was ready.
Touchdown! That's it! That's it!
But I was also in the weight room. Brady and Willie McGinnis were in there every single day.
Complete! Brady.
He made himself better. He became a better quarterback than Drew Bledsoe, who was making $100 billion.
Touchdown, New England! Buckley's checked in as a wideout. Dangerous! Oh, you gotta be kidding!
As Drew Bledsoe grew healthier and healthier,
Troy Brown, touchdown!
Belichick would be forced to choose between his $100 million QB or the 6th-round pick who refused to lose.
4 to 10 win, 3 touchdown throws for the second-year quarterback out of Michigan, Tom Brady.
Right now, we got us a controversy because once again, no matter what, Belichick has got to go with the hot hand.
I can to be ready to play whenever that opportunity comes again.
So the following week against New Orleans, I said, we're just going with Tom, and he's going to get all the reps, and he's going to play. That's what Mr. Kraft's paying me to do, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make the decisions that I think are the best for the football team. T-E-A-M as in team.
The starting quarterback job had now officially become Tom Brady's.
But he is such a competitor, and he brings so much fire with him and belief. Like everyone on the team believes in him.
Here in New England, there's been only one topic of discussion all week long. Who will the starting quarterback be? On one side, it's Tom Brady. On the other side, Drew Bledsoe. The head coach, Bill Belichick, says it's Tom Brady. What do you think, Bill?
Yeah, rightfully so. Heck, you know, these guys got wins.
He rewarded Belichick's decision by putting on a show against New Orleans.
2-minute offense, Tom Brady. His rating has been outstanding, the best in the AFC.
And you don't think this is a crazy year in the NFL? I mean, nothing against Tom Brady. I think he's a fantastic guy. We sat down and talked with him, and you can see what the coaches and players like about him. I mean, there's something about this guy that's real endearing that you would follow and trust.
But all those teammates are staring at him. Their chin straps on a little tighter. They're a little bit more in the playbook, and they're ready to go. He's that good of a leader.
Right over the fingertips of the linebacker, right into Johnson's hands.
The Patriots won their division
Touchdown!
after going 5-11 the year before.
How about Brady? The kid was sitting there in the pocket, there's bodies flying all around him, and he throws a bullet into tight zone coverage.
You know, that was some real right in the middle of the season there. We were 5-5, could have gone either way, and Tom really came through for us in a big way, starting with that New Orleans game.
19 for 27, 258 yards, and 4 touchdowns for Tom Brady. And a fabulous performance.
We were 5-11 last year, and this year we're turning around. We're 11-5 and AFC East champs.
The Patriots under Bill Belichick after that 1-3 start. Some people calling for maybe Belichick to be fired, according to owner Bob Kraft, and now he could be a leading contender for Coach of the Year.
You know, coming from when the team was 0-2 and you take over, did you dream it would come to this?
Well, I really think you prepare for, you know, that when your number is called to be ready to play. And, you know, each week it's about getting better and learning. And you know, being a young quarterback, you realize you're going to learn every week. And some days are better than others as I'm continuing to learn.
It has been quite a season up to this point. You know, we're still really looking to make some headway into the playoffs.
Their franchise quarterback is gone, so they got a decision to make, huh? Sure, it's too soon, but they bring in the kid. And with the thing and a thing and a boom, he's got him into the playoffs. Divisional finals. We got a blizzard.
Good evening, everyone. Gil Santos along with Gino Capiletti at the Winter Wonderland that is Foxborough Stadium. Tonight, the Patriots against the Oakland Raiders in the AFC semifinals, and the snow is coming down in Foxborough and will come down throughout.
The Snow Bowl, one of the most famous playoff games ever.
Welcome back. The Patriots win it 16-13 in overtime.
And we saw Tom Brady, I think, again, we saw his poise and how it affects his football team. It's contagious. You know, he's an outstanding quarterback.
But that was where it was supposed to end. The Rams were expected to stomp the life out of the young upstart Brady.
We were the largest underdogs in the history of the Super Bowl.
Smart money says the Rams, and having said the Rams last week by 20, I've got to stick with that. I just got this funny feeling it might be just a little bit closer.
2 years ago, the greatest show on turf had won their first title. Now, they aim to cement themselves as a new dynasty for a new century. Only the lowly Patriots stood in their way.
Man, that first Super Bowl against the Rams, the greatest show, you talking about a mismatch. When Tom told Robert Kraft as a sixth-rounder, this is going to be your best draft pick ever, Tom Brady helped create the Patriot way. It was inside of him.
And now with no timeouts, I think that the Patriots, with this field position, you have to just run the clock out. You have to play for overtime now.
Remember how John Madden was saying, go to overtime, play for overtime.
You have to play for overtime now. I don't think you want to force anything here. You don't want to do anything stupid because you have no timeouts and you're backed up.
But I'm talking about that first breakthrough Super Bowl when he was a first-year starter and John Madden's up in the TV booth saying, shut it down, play for overtime.
He has been very, very impressive with his calmness.
He goes boom, 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 boom.
You all know exactly who I am. Say my name.
Here's Brady again. And it's Troy Brown, and he gets out of bounds, and they might be in Vinatieri's range.
I'll tell you, what Tom Brady just did gives me goosebumps.
I will never forget Brady with his hands on his head, confetti coming down. Cannot believe this happened. It was exactly the way the rest of the country felt.
The youngest QB to ever win the title at the time, Brady had gone from underdog to top dog.
We had just won the Super Bowl. I don't think we even had the parade yet, but he was already talking about winning another.
They wanted to see the Patriots. They braved the cold to do it. Gloves were not optional, but apparently shirts were. World champions can really draw a crowd. People came to see their favorite player. Who are you looking for? Tom Brady. He already passed. I know, I saw him going.
Brady took the Patriots to heights that not even New England fans thought was possible.
We do now, and it's because of Tom.
Correct.
Looks like you made it pretty far into this video. How about you like, subscribe, and click the bell while watching this clip of Brady chugging beer.
We were playing at Buffalo. For whatever reason, we couldn't fly back, so we had to stay the night in Rochester. At some point, there's a chugging contest that starts. When I tell you that you couldn't have poured the beer out of the glass faster than he drank it, and of course, in like his competitiveness, he drinks it, slams the glass on the table, and like flexes, and everybody, I mean, the whole team is there, and everybody just loses it.
Unrelated, here's Aaron Rodgers chugging a beer.
Define what separates Tom in those moments versus all the other quarterbacks.
I don't think there's another human being on the planet as competitive as Tom Brady.
Are you ready for some football?
Welcome to Foxborough. What a way to begin our 33rd season of Monday Night Football. The world champion Patriots, the Cinderella team. As far as New England is concerned, we talked about them being a Cinderella team. No bigger Cinderella story for an individual than Tom Brady. Super Bowl MVP comes out of nowhere. He says, I don't want to be a one-shot wonder.
I think that he was great last year. I mean, the last time that I saw him play was in the Super Bowl, and he was tremendous. He took a big step last year, and he's going to have to continue and take a bigger step this year.
They kicked off the 2002 season, aiming to prove they were no fluke.
He puts us on the map. Nobody has more Super Bowls than us. Before that, everybody had at least as little as we did.
Touchdown to Christian Fourier, the tight end.
More than us before he came. And by the time he was done with us, nobody had more than us. That's unbelievable.
Some try to claim Brady was carried by his defense in the early years, which is just ignorant at best.
What would appear to be a 12th consecutive pass attempt.
Carry to the championship? No, that's just not accurate.
Sideline, and that's caught again by David Patton. Run out of bounds by Chad.
It's never happened, obviously, in our game. No disrespect to any of the other players, but the missing piece to that puzzle was Tom Brady.
3rd and 13, grabbing the shirt. He makes the catch anyway. And no flag, and a big 3rd down and long conversion.
He's got that it factor that you hear people talk about. He makes everyone around him so much better.
1st and 10 out of the gun. Caught by Hayes, slips the tackle.
Boom, perfect timing.
And Hayes scores his first touchdown as a New England Patriot. 40 yards.
Can't say, okay, the guy in the second year, this guy's making Joe Montana, who's a Hall of Famer and one of the all-time greats. We talked about Tom Brady being from Sarah High School, so that's right in the 49ers area, and he was a big fan of Joe Montana, Steve Young, and the 49ers, and just the way, I mean, he's not struggling. I mean, he's not, bouncing around there and his feet going. I mean, he's just back there and calm and reading and getting rid of the ball, and that part of it reminds me of Joe Montana.
Very poised. 3rd down. Over the middle, then to the right, and Montana will be proud of that because Deion Branch goes in for a touchdown. And that's exactly what you were talking about. He looks over the middle, fires a bullet.
And he's just so calm doing it. I mean, there's no jittery. He's not jumping around.
All right, Al, well, when we talked to Tom Brady yesterday, or actually on Saturday, he said, we are going to kick their butt. Tom, how'd you know that?
Yeah, well, I think we had a good game plan. I think we were all confident.
The one thing that just stands out about Tom Brady, that sense of calm. He never seems to be uncomfortable. He never seems to be under duress or frazzled in any way.
Tom Brady, at age 25 now, out of the University of Michigan,
Off to a solid start. 5 touchdowns, only 1 pick in the first 2 games. Brady, that right arm's been busy today.
Let it be known, young Tom Brady was fearless.
Brady under pressure. Touchdown, Brown! Unbelievable! What a series, Brady to Brown. Well, what a throw. What a throw by Tom Brady as Jason Belzer is right in his face on a safety blitz. Brady. Pressure comes.
He routinely absorbed massive hits in order to complete the pass.
Tremendous job of Tom Brady standing in until the last minute. Brady hit hard, throws from blitz. This could go all the way. It's Troy Brown caught from behind by William Barty. Barty saves a touchdown. So 3rd down and 10 now after Smith lost a couple of yards on that last carry. Brady under pressure. Again, Tom Brady getting stuck in the chest, throws a touchdown pass.
The defending champs look primed for another title run.
Brady was 4 for 9, 22 yards is all, and an interception. Since then, 27 for 36, 4 touchdowns, and 312 yards, 334 total.
In just his 2nd season starting, Tom Brady led the league in touchdown passes. That's right. The QB haters often try to say was just a game manager at the start of his career led the entire league in touchdowns in just his 2nd season starting. More than Manning, Favre, or even 2002's MVP Rich Gannon.
Charlie Wise, his offensive coordinator, knows he's got a quarterback in Tom Brady. Goodness, we all know the kind of plays this guy can do. One play, 1 first down, and 1 touchdown at a time.
2002 would be the only season Brady would ever miss the playoffs. The season did, however, provide one of my favorite pissed-off Tom Brady moments.
And the reason I like it is that lack of kind of fire and emotion. Maybe that's the jumper cables on the lips that might get this group a little more excited.
Psycho Tom, as he's become known.
Why incite this guy anymore? I mean, that's just, he feeds off of any and every little thing that he can.
We have a personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 12 offense, 15-yard penalty. It will be 1st and 10.
You see, throughout his career, when Tom Brady gets angry, it typically doesn't go well for the other guys.
Brady moving up. He's got to get to the 18. Has the first down, sliding down to about the 14-yard line. And they're coming at him. Here comes Urlacher. Here goes the pass. A one-handed catch by Kevin Fulp. And a block downfield by Patton. And a Patriot touchdown.
That is the poise of a winner like Tom Brady and what he brings to your football team. And they're going for 2.
Shotgun snap by Compton, and it goes right to Fulp.
Urlacher blew the 2-point attempt up.
And look at the tackle by Brian Urlacher.
After using all 3 timeouts, the Pats got the ball back with just under 2 minutes.
No timeouts for New England. Brady 32 of 48, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. 1st and 10. Great time.
It's 4th and 3rd.
They got to get inside the 28.
On 4th and 3, Brady broke out what would become his version of the crane kick, which for non-Karate Kid fans is an unblockable attack. The quarterback sneak.
Quarterback sneak, and he plows his way ahead in what appears to be a first down plunge.
He got it. Timeout by Chicago.
And they now have 2 left. Patriots took over at their own 44 with 1:50 left in the fourth quarter.
In the final 30 seconds, Brady went for the kill shot.
Brady gets away from Colvin and to the end zone.
Do you have the ball? Yes. 1, drag, 6. How many chances can you give a world champion? Chicago found out exactly how many. One too many. Tom Brady made the Chicago Bears regret they ever gave him those extra chances.
As he always does. As he always has done. Better than any other quarterback in the history of the game. He led a game-winning drive.
The following season, the Patriots released the hugely popular defensive captain, Lawyer Malloy.
Tuesday, Lawyer Malloy was the defensive captain of the New England Patriots until he was cut for financial reasons. Thursday, he signed with the Buffalo Bills.
Hear about a coach potentially losing the team based on the way the players are thinking. Your name comes up based on your 2003 Week 1 release in New England and how the team had supposedly been lost because of you.
Safety from Washington, number 36, Lawyer Malloy.
Obviously, we beat them 31-0 the first week, but they rebounded.
The Bills destroyed the Pats.
As long as Belichick and Tom Brady is part of the Patriots organization, they're always going to rebound. They're always going to have a chance to win.
Not as panicked as the fans, all the TV commentators, the shows you watch. Oh, my gosh, fire the coach, bench the quarterback. It's one game.
By this time, Tom Brady was the best play-action QB in the league.
Tom Brady onto the field. His 28 touchdown passes led the National Football League last season. The bottom line is, if you're not an offensive lineman, chances are Tom Brady's going to throw you a pass.
Well, look at the pass distribution. Wide receivers, 10 catches. But Tom Brady said it. We've got to make them defend the whole field and every pass receiver so they're giving it.
Here, the fake handoff draws in all 3 linebackers and a safety.
Over the middle. Got it. Touchdown, Deion Branch.
Terrific fake by Tom Brady. The backs, the offensive lineman, and it got Michael Lewis, the safety, got him out of position, and he made a beautiful throw to Deion Branch.
It's just a masterpiece. It's a thing of beauty. It's clutchness beyond comprehension.
In Miami, even The Rock showed up to watch the Dolphins try to stop Brady. In overtime, Brady hit one of the greatest passes ever thrown.
When it was time, Tom Brady did it.
He's got it at the 30, the 20, the 10. The Patriots have won. Look at them storm the field. A remarkable victory by New England. Brady threw that, kept running deep, and Brady had loaded all he had and found Brown on the fingertips. An 82-yard winning touchdown.
It was now Brady's thing, what he'd become known for. Killer instinct. The famous game where the Pats took an intentional safety to get the ball back later in a better spot.
I mean, there's a part of me that says you could almost take a safety. You're going to have to kick. That would make it a 3-point game. You're still going to have to kick, and then you're trying to stop Denver defensively. Just a thought.
That's not a bad thought.
Yeah,
they did it.
That's what they did. Yep. That's what they did. It hit the goalpost. That's a safety. So that's exactly what they were thinking.
The gamble paid off.
His calm under pressure. There's only one other quarterback who being very similar, if not the same. That's Joe Montana.
Brady under pressure, gets it away, caught.
They have the field goal. They have the field goal position. Now they should likely go for touchdown.
Time and again, he was coming back from near defeat to rip the souls out of would-be challengers.
Your soul is mine.
And it's caught in the corner by David Gibbons for a touchdown with a half minute to the
Brady
play.
4 of 5 for 58 yards on that drive in 1 minute and 45 seconds.
Listen to this place. This place has just gone quiet there and shot.
The air has gone out at 5,280 feet.
This is the year and game where the Manning-Brady rivalry first started to grow.
Here in Indianapolis, call this last Sunday of November Showdown Sunday. It's the 9-2 New England Patriots and the 9-2 Indianapolis Colts, and welcome to the RCA Dome, everyone.
And Manning's a little bit like Rodgers. When things got a little off-kilter for Manning, he had trouble adapting as well.
Brady with time. Throw.
The real drama of the game was the very end.
Touchdown!
Manning found himself with 4th and goal from the 1.
This football game comes down to this play. 4th and goal. Give it to James, straight ahead, he didn't get there! Willie McGinnis!
The now legendary goal line stand started the narrative that Manning couldn't win when it mattered most, as opposed to Brady, who continuously performed miracles.
I mean, he has the fire to drive, to practice hard, to study hard, to motivate his players, to motivate himself. And that's week in and week out. It's hard to do it week in and week out. Be good in practice, be good in meetings. But he has that it factor.
To close out the year, in a fitting bit of symmetry, the Pats took on Buffalo again. Buffalo, remember, had beaten them 31-0 in Week 1. The Pats returned the favor in kind.
On 2nd and 3, Brady sees room to run. And on a quarterback sneak, he slides out to the 30-yard line. Oh, my. Brady fires. Touchdown, Daniel Graham.
His accuracy, I think, it gets talked about. I think it's, in my opinion, most accurate quarterback in the history of the game.
Look at him. He's another day in the park. Life is good.
Old baseball catcher. He knows how to take all those foul balls.
Whether you're a fan or not, I don't see how you couldn't be a fan, even if you're not necessarily a Bucs fan or a Patriots fan. I mean, you have to really appreciate what he's done.
In the playoffs, the Pats would face off with Manning's Colts one more time. It was another Pats domination, where Manning threw multiple picks and failed to match score for score with Brady.
Quick pump. Touchdown! Running out of time. Intercepted. Picked off by Rodney Harrison.
Peyton, I've said Peyton was born into football royalty. Brady right now, this for the first time since they've really played, maybe since the first meeting, this is a quarterback mismatch based on how they're playing right now.
The Patriots are going to the Super Bowl.
New England was heading to its 2nd Super Bowl in 3 years.
His 5 years at Michigan, it really made him the player and the man that he is today. It taught him to be tough, to persevere, to take nothing for granted. And he really has carried that chip on his shoulder straight through his NFL career, despite all his accomplishments.
Against the Panthers, the game would be tied heading into the final minute.
And 68 seconds on the clock to get Adam Vinatieri into field goal range.
Brady would get the ball with just a few chances to win it all. One last shot.
Time. Throws. As his man inside the 25-yard line, Deion Branch made the catch. And timeout. Patriots claim their 2nd Super Bowl championship in 3 years. We have talked about it in this era of free agency and player movement. That's as close to a dynasty as you're ever going to find.
He was now a two-time Super Bowl champion in just 3 years of starting.
Fans are lined up 20 deep on both sides of the street here to see their favorite team. It was a veritable love fest.
One was nice, two's a lot nicer, but I need number 3.
That is the one thing about Tom Brady. He is in constant competition, not only with himself and whatever it is. If he was on this stage right now.
He was actually at a charity basketball game, and we're losing to these middle-aged, overweight firemen. Tom Brady let us have it. Guys, we're not losing to the fire department. We're professional athletes. Sure enough, he starts knocking down this bank shot three-pointer. We walked away with a victory that afternoon against a small-town Massachusetts fire department for charity.
Another big move has shaken things up for this weekend. The Bengals have traded disgruntled running back Corey Dillon to the Patriots for a second-round pick this weekend.
I think it's a great move for me, a great move for the organization, and I'm just happy to be a New England Patriot.
Bengals all-time leading rusher, now a Patriot, Marvin Lewis, now rid of his biggest thorn.
The addition of clock-killing Corey Dillon meant the league's best play-action QB was going to be paired with an elite running back.
It was like the first weekend, the first day you guys were out there together, it felt like there was this instant connection.
The season opener was a classic addition to the Brady-Manning rivalry.
Indianapolis last year lost to New England at home, came in here and lost in January. They're going to have to get by them at some point. How do the Colts beat the Patriots?
Tom Brady is the definition of a force multiplier. He's going to elevate the play of everybody around him.
And I think some ways their offense is a little underrated. To me, Tom Brady is the best quarterback in all of football.
Corey Dillon made his presence felt immediately.
Dillon is in the game with the fullback Patrick pass, and Corey Dillon.
Peyton Manning, for how long and how many playoff games did it potentially affect him that the narrative was, man, this guy comes up short in the postseason. This guy can't get it done.
And Manning to the other side, and it is caught by Harrison. He got to the goal line, got over the goal.
Both teams moved up and down the field.
Question about that Brady, and it's such a great story, the fact that he ascended in the 2001 season only because of an injury at that point. And he throws, and it's caught at the 40-yard line by Deion Branch. First and 10 at the 40-yard line. Dillon. And the former Bengal threads his way for what might be a first down. And Brady's going for 6. Touchdown.
He's going to take it. He knows that he's going to get shellacked, but he does it anyway. That is toughness.
Ultimately, Brady outplayed Peyton again, and the Patriots walked away with the win on opening night.
Graham for the touchdown.
And Tom Brady again hits it perfectly.
3 touchdown passes to 3 different receivers.
This is what NFL football is all about, and when it's not like this, it should be.
And the Pats win it 27-24.
Over the past 2 seasons, the Patriots had gone 21 straight games without a loss, shattering the old record of 18.
21 in a row, 6-0, and more importantly to Bill Belichick and the Patriots, first place by their lonesome.
Brady was an MVP candidate, and the regular season seemed like a formality. This team cared about one thing only:
Brady falls down.
Becoming a dynasty.
To Patrick pass. Oh my!
A dynasty in football typically involves winning 3 or more Super Bowls in under a decade. The 70s saw the Steelers win 4 in 7 years. The 80s saw the 49ers win 4 in 9 years. The 90s saw the Cowboys win 3 in 4 years. Now, New England had a chance to match Dallas, winning 3 out of 4, and back-to-back. The divisional round saw another chapter added in the Brady-Manning rivalry. In the blistering cold of Foxborough, Massachusetts.
9.5 minutes in this quarter. From the 5, Brady with time now on the run. Throws, touchdown! Touchdown, Patriots, David Gibbons.
Well, he's done his talking on the field.
He's never lost a playoff game. Tom Brady has now thrown for a touchdown and run for another.
The league's MVP.
Rodney Harrison with the pick.
Unfortunately for him, he had to go against Tom Brady and Bill Belichick.
Although the schedule is not set, these two teams meet again next year right here in Foxborough.
The Patriots would face off against the team that had ended their 21-game win streak. It was a hostile environment and would be the biggest challenge to date for New England.
First down and Brady threatening to go long and indeed launches it.
Nah, I'm just kidding. They motorboated the Steelers.
Has it at the 10 and in the end zone. Touchdown, New England.
What a throw by Tom Brady.
Motorboat? You played the motorboat? You motorboating son of a bitch, you old sailor, you.
You know, so much talk about Corey Dillon not being here in October. Deion Branch was inactive with a knee in that game, too. First and 10, and play action fake to Dillon, and again, Brady.
You motorboating son of a bitch, you old sailor, you.
Complete destruction. The Patriots were headed to their 3rd Super Bowl in 4 years. A game against the Eagles, where the Patriots would cement their status as a dynasty.
You've got the New England Patriots trying to win for the 3rd time in the last 4 years.
Yeah, and regardless of what happens out here today, this will always be remembered as a very special team. But if they win today, they become a dynasty.
Gibbons, touchdown. And the New England Patriots are on their way to solidifying their team as an NFL dynasty.
Tom Brady was 9-0 in the playoffs, a 3-time Super Bowl champion, and just 27 years old.
And the New England Patriots will be the first dynasty of the 21st century.
Nobody brings it home like it should. Nobody.
Part 2 of 3 is coming soon. Make sure your notifications are on so you'll see it when it pops up. Thanks, and see you soon.